I received enough makeup in my August icon box that I can film a try-on video. This doesn't happen very often. I'm already wearing foundation, mascara, I primed my eyes, and I'm wearing a lip product. So let's get started with concealer. I picked up this really tiny sample size. I didn't know it was going to be this small. This is a concealer from WINKY Luxe. It's called the Peeper Perfect Under Eye Concealer. Try to say that 10 times fast. Peeper Perfect. Peeper. No, not going to happen. All right, let's see how good or bad the shade Fair will be. All right, that's what she looks like. Let me do a swatch. Okay, that looks a little light, but I like to brighten under my eyes, and it's not as light as I thought it was when I added it to my cart. I'm not a huge fan of squeezy tube type of applicators. I don't know, when it comes to concealers, I prefer like a doe foot. It just makes it easier to get it where you want it. I have fat fingers, so let's hope this ends up where it should go and not halfway down my cheeks. I'm going to take whatever's remaining and get it on my nose, which has a little redness. I'm just going to let that sit there for about 20 seconds or so, because I find when using a sponge, oftentimes it will just pull away the coverage, and I have some serious dark circles and I want them to be hidden at least slightly. All right, I'm going to take this sponge here and just kind of press it under my eye, and hopefully it doesn't pull up too much. All right, that is a better shade match than I originally thought it would be. We'll check in at the end of the video and see if it's causing any extra crepiness, creasing, or making my under eyes look worse than they were before I applied the product. Oh, I forgot. Okay, let me put my hair up and zoom on in. The first product from my icon box that wasn't an add-on that I'll be trying is this Cream Trio blush from Iconic London. All of my bright lights and my camera are not truly showing how dark and deep and coral these shades are. If I hold it like this, hopefully it will look more similar to what the actual shades are than when I do this. But no, in real life, they are much brighter. This is not only a cheek palette, but you can also put it on your lips. I do not like corally orange dark shades, so I'm only going to be putting this on my cheeks today. I'm going to use a somewhat dense brush and kind of bounce between these two shades here. This is super coral and this is more red, but hopefully... Oh no, I'm just going to go into all three. Hopefully it, yeah, wish me luck. All right, that is needing some help. It was quite dark, but just if you take your sponge that was used to apply your foundation or concealer, liking that once it's been pounced out. If you like something that's super pigmented, don't pounce it out. But I think that's works out well, because if you have darker complexion, you can get color payoff. But if you're fair like I am, just pounce it in. And I didn't even go in for more product. Whatever I grabbed the first time, I used on both sides of my face. All right, is it my favorite shade? No. But is it better than I thought it would be? Yes. I didn't get a highlighter in the box. I could use eyeshadow, but instead I'm gonna try this sample shimmery blush, or dewy blush is how they advertise it, and see if they can't give me the glow that I typically like with a highlighter. This is what the little guy looks like, and I believe this looks just like the full size, only miniature size as far as the packaging goes. This also is very kind of corally orange, which normally isn't my favorite, but it should go really well with the blush I already have on my face. Okay, that is very pigmented. I'm going to pounce that one out too. There is a nice glow. I don't know if it's enough to pretend to be a highlighter, but you let me know what you think. I think the color range melds perfectly together. All right, let's move on to eyeshadow. I have two eyeshadow palettes that I got in the August box. They both are right up my alley and beautiful. I'm not sure if I should be mixing the two or maybe do a separate video with the palette I don't use today. Let me first swatch them and let me think about that. All right, here are the swatches for the Color Boss Master Palette from MAKIAGE. My lights are pretty bright, but let me just try to get a good angle. There we go. Ignore this will come up in the near future. I didn't feel like redoing all my swatches for my unboxing video. Here are the swatches from the Too Faced Let's Play mini palette. I am really loving the pinks in this palette, but I think I will do a separate video, and that way we can get a full-on first impression review of these shadows from MAKIAGE. Alright, I'm going to take the lightest matte shade and just get it all over my lids. Just make sure that nothing on my lids is looking greasy or cakey, or you're not going to be able to see this color. It's going to match my skin tone, but that's okay because shades like that do have a purpose, and for me it's to kind of set down whatever eyeshadow primer, and that's how I'm using it right now. Alright, I'm going to go into the next deepest shade using the same brush and focus this more kind of in the crease and outer area here, and let's see if there's any color payoff. I would say it's not overly pigmented, but I've had worse shadows. Let's see if it's buildable. Okay, yes, you can build it up, which I actually prefer in powder products. I like having control over how deep a shade will be versus, you know, one touch and you're like, and then particularly if it doesn't blend out. So far, so good. All right, I'm going to take that same shade and just drag it beneath my lower lashes. All right, I'm going to be using a slightly smaller brush and go into this third shade, the kind of medium brown, and let's see how that looks on the outer corner of my eyes. Just going to tap a little right here. Okay, that shade is subtle, but I assume will be buildable. Let's give that another second kind of go. Yes, okay, so it's the same, where not overly pigmented, but definitely can be built up. I'm going to take that same medium brown shade and just get it on the outer third of my lower lashes. It's definitely a very warm brown. It's not quite orange and not quite brown. I don't know what shade that is. Warm orangey brown. That's what I'm going to call it. All right, and let's take the same brush and go into the deepest shade in the palette and really get some dimension going in the outer corner. I'm just going to tap it. Again, the first press, not a lot, but then it is buildable. And then I'm going to get a little on the very outer corner of my lower lash line. All right, I'm going to take the first brush I used and just gently kind of blend all of what happened on the outer bit in towards the center slightly, because I don't want to have a harsh line on that deepest shade. And then drag the crease over as well. Okay, so here are the matte shades. Let's go in with the shimmers. All right, I'm not going to use all 4 shimmers, but let's go in with the second from the lightest shimmer shade on the outer to middle portion, and then I will go in the inner corner with the lightest shimmer. That is what the shimmer is like on my finger, and let's see how this appears. Okay, it's a little on the golden side, and then I'm going to grab the lighter shade, which is slightly more, it's not quite champagne, it's, I would say it's a little yellow. It's definitely lighter. And perfect. I boo-booed, but boo-booed in a good way. Got it in my inner corner. I'm just going to take this more dense of a brush and kind of meld those 2 shimmer shades together. By meld, I mean blend. And then my eye look should be done, although I need to make sure this inner corner matches that inner corner. All right. If you haven't figured it out by now, you must be new. If so, welcome. I'm not an MUA. I'm just a makeup enthusiast. But I think, let me do one last final blend and then, oh, I almost forgot. Okay. We will finish up by adding some of the lightest shimmer to my brow bone and then move on to the eyeliner products. So I received this duo of gel eyeliners from Wander Beauty. One is in the shade black and one is in the shade, I think it's called Tan Lines. It's a brown. I normally only wear black, so today I'm gonna wear black because I like tight lining in black. This is what the point looks like. It is the type where you can scroll it up. Let me try to hold and scroll at the same time. And at the bottom, it does have one of those little sharpeners if you like to have a sharp, pointy tip. I find it tickles my eyes, so I like to actually dull a pencil first before using it. Oh, okay, and then earlier I said, so here are the gel eyeliners. Here's the brown, here's the black, and in a moment I will share with you the other liner, which is a liquid liner. All right, let's see how this performs in the waterline. I can't really tell. It doesn't look like much is showing up. Hopefully in editing I will see a difference, but I don't like it on my lower lash line. I almost kind of want to put it there just to see how it's performing, but we won't because I want to see if it's going to transfer down. All right, this last product is kind of scaring me a little bit. I always use liquid liners. However, I use liquid liners that come in pen form. This here is a liquid liner from FRECK Beauty called the Lashrocket liner, and it has peptide lash enhancing properties, but the applicator is a brush tip on a wand, and yeah, so let's see how, maybe I will do this. Okay, we will soon find out. Okay, it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. I don't know why I was so scared, but I think the trick is to scrape off the excess, which is what I did, so that you get the amount you want and not a big blob. Because I think on a felt tip or even a brush tip on a pen, it's, I don't know. I'm speculating at this point because I honestly don't use this type of applicator, but my fears were unwarranted. I say that now, but watch me screw up. Okay, I think I need to go in for a second coat. I don't know. Again, in editing, I'll be able to yell at myself and go, why'd you go in for more? This angle in my little mirror, it's not looking super on there, but let's see how much extra we can add. What's going on my lower lash line? I'm just noticing something down here. Oh, that's just me not blending very well. All right, we'll just fix that. Go off camera, touch up my mascara, redo my lips, take my hair down, and I'll come back and give my final thoughts. All right, here is the final look. What are your thoughts? Yeah, no judgment on my application because I'm not an MUA. I did swap out the lip color. I went with something a little more peachy orange to correspond and go with the eye look. And by the way, if I look extra sweaty, greasy, oily, dewy, insert an adjective for describing how I look. It's like 95 degrees out and it's really hot in my filming room with all my lights. So even though I have dry skin, I'm a little extra sweaty today. I don't know, that sounds gross, but you catch my drift. All right, I would say that the eyeshadow, if you like neutral palettes, you will love it. It's not overly pigmented, but it has enough pigment where you can build up the colors. Or if you are scared of pigment, it's perfect because it's very light until you go in 2 or 3 times. The shimmer shades are what I consider really nice. I love how there's a shade in there that looks really good on the brow bone. Overall, I'm not mad at that palette. Now, when it comes to the gel eyeliner, it's either really good or really bad, meaning there's nothing on my lower lash line. So it's either really good that nothing transferred down, or it's really bad in the sense that nothing actually ended up on my top waterline. Because I want to test that out, let's apply some to the lower lash line and see if anything shows up. Okay, it's kind of what I thought. The reason nothing's on my lower lash line is because nothing ended up on my top waterline. That is super disappointing because it's a waterproof gel liner, but nothing's really showing up in my waterline. What a bummer. All right, now for the liquid liner, when I was off camera, I went in and added a little more on the outer edge of my eyes. I think I don't want to poo-poo the formula too much yet. I think honestly it has to do with me not being well experienced using this type of an applicator. So I'll definitely have to try it again. It's not horrible, but I just find, I don't know, when it comes to a pen, I can easily get, I don't really do a cat eye, but I will come up a little thicker on the outer edge. And that was a little harder for me, mainly because I didn't want to screw up my eye look. But I will be curious if I notice any difference using it, because it does have some peptides, and they don't call it a lash serum, but it's lash enhancement to see if my lashes get enhanced. The blush, I think, looks beautiful. Is it my perfect shade? No, but it is wearable. I tend to lean a little more pink and mauve than I do coral, but it looks really nice on my skin. Let's now zoom in and see what we think of the concealer. It's not creasing, so it's performing really well under my eyes. Is it full coverage? No, I still see darkness, so it's definitely a light to medium coverage, but maybe next time I should let it set on my skin even longer. I said I would do 20 seconds. I think I really only did like 10 seconds, but I will definitely use it again and try it with a brush and my finger to see if I get more coverage doing it that way. All right, now I want to hear from you. Did you get any of these products in your icon box this month? If so, have you had a chance to try them out? And did you have the same thoughts on the products as I did? Also, let me know if you'd be curious if I filmed an eye look using the Too Faced palette. Overall, I think this is a nice color story right in my wheelhouse. I'm a fair neutral lover, and hey, we have some fair neutral shades on my face today. All right, I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so by now, I would love if you would subscribe. For those who have, thank you so much. Remember to click that bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. And if you can do me a big favor, if you could click the thumbs up, it really does help with my channel to grow. All right, thanks everyone.